Prince Philip is seen for the first time since leaving hospital before Christmas as family friend Penny Brabourne drives him away from Sandringham ahead of the Queen's Megxit summit. The Duke of Edinburgh kept a low profile today as he stayed away from the top-level summit being held at Sandringham House to decide the future for Prince Harry and Meghan in the royal family. Prince Philip, 98, was seen being driven through the Queen's estate in Norfolk in the front passenger seat of a Land Rover this morning by his close friend Penelope Brabourne, Countess Mountbatten of Burma. It was the first time Philip had been seen in public since Christmas Eve after spending 4 nights at King Edward VII Hospital in London for what was described as observation and treatment to a pre-existing condition. But he was pictured just before 10 a.m. today after nearly 3 weeks indoors when he was spotted leaving the house in the car, which was originally seen heading out of driveway which leads to the Sandringham estate office. It comes on the day that the Queen called a summit at Sandringham for senior royals to discuss face-to-face for the first time the Sussexes' bombshell plans to step down and forge a new role for themselves. However, it was then said to have made a U-turn after Philip spotted a gathering of photographers. The car instead seemed to head out of a little-used side entrance beside West Newton and Sandringham Primary School. It is believed that Philip was driven around the 20,000-acre estate, possibly checking on the progress of his personal truffle plantation, before heading to his retreat at Wood Farm. Philip has spent most of time at Wood Farm on the estate, 2 miles from Sandringham House, since retiring from royal duties in 2017. But since Christmas Eve he has been staying full-time with the Queen at the house. Harry is believed to have arrived at Sandringham at 11:20 am, while Prince William, who had been staying at his home at nearby Anmer Hall, arrived at 1:45 p.m., just 15 minutes before the reported start of the summit at 2 p.m. Last month, Philip spent 4 nights in hospital after being flown from Sandringham to King Edward VII on the Friday before Christmas. He left on Christmas Eve and was flown back in the Queen's Sikorsky F-76 helicopter. Philip's return to Sandringham had added significance for his family because while most people open presents on Christmas Day, the royal family still keep to the German practice of unwrapping their gifts on Christmas Eve. Traditionally the Queen, Duke and other royals congregate in the white drawing room at Sandringham around a 20-foot tree, cut from the estate, for the exchange of presents displayed on a white linen-covered trestle table. His planned admittance on December 20th to the private hospital in London, which has been treating members of the royal family for decades, was described as a precautionary measure by Buckingham Palace. The Duke, who turned 98 in June, has generally enjoyed good health, appearing to recover well from a planned hip replacement operation in April 2018, although he was battling a flu-like condition before Christmas. Philip escaped with minor injuries after a dramatic car crash near Sandringham in January 2019, but in the past decade has been admitted to hospital for abdominal surgery, bladder infections and a blocked coronary artery. Penelope, 66, the wife of Norton Inchbald, 3rd Earl Mountbatten of Burma, is a close friend and carriage-driving companion of the Duke of Edinburgh who has run the Mountbatten estate Broadlands in recent years. She took over the Hampshire estate, where Philip and then Princess Elizabeth honeymooned, after her husband left her for Bahamas-based fashion designer Jeannie McQueenie in 2010, after 3 decades of marriage. Norton, himself a godson of Philip and friend of Prince Charles, returned to the 6,000-acre estate in 2014 after his affair ended, but he moved into a converted barn while Penelope, or Lady Brabourne, stayed in the main house. The Queen has become a close friend of Lady Brabourne, whose father Reg Eastwood founded the Angus Steakhouse restaurants, as well and is said to have huge respect for the fortitude she has shown over the years. She also faced the trauma of her daughter Leonora dying at the age of just 5 from kidney cancer in 1991. She is buried at Broadlands and is said to be one of the reasons Lady Brabourne has vowed never to leave. Lady Brabourne, who is the Queen's cousin, is also linked through her husband Norton's grandfather being Louis Mountbatten, 1st Earl Mountbatten of Burma, Philip's uncle who was killed in an IRA attack in 1979.